Um, this is a chicken teriyaki recipe that has been developed by Pampered Chef for the Quick Cooker. So they did this wonderful cookbook to go along with the Quick Cooker. So if you're like me, I was totally just intimidated by pressure cookers. I always thought of the ones my grandmother used on the stove, and I was always afraid it would blow up, and it just seemed scary and it made a lot of noise, and so I had just avoided pressure cookers. But I always see people talking about how much they love their pressure cookers, all the meals that they're able to do. So I'm so excited that Pampered Chef came out with their own version of a pressure cooker, and this is called the Quick Cooker, and I have loved it. I got it back in August, and we got them early before the season started on September 1st. And I just, from the minute I got it out of the box, I have used it pretty much every day. And in fact, I love it so much, I have 2 of them. So it has been great. And this is this may be the favorite recipe. I don't know, it's pretty close. We've got a lot of favorite recipes, but this one's way up there. So my kids really love chicken teriyaki of any type. So that's what we're gonna make tonight. So it's chicken teriyaki and rice. And so we're actually gonna make the teriyaki sauce. So it's just really, really good. So we're going to just do everything inside. This pot is a 6-quart pot. It's nice, heavy gauge stainless steel. It is awesome. So to make this sauce, we're gonna use honey. We're gonna use, this is called mirin, and it's kind of a sweet rice cooking wine. You will find this in the probably the Asian food section of the grocery store. This is the Kikkoman brand, so you can kind of see, and it kind of looks like canola oil or something, but it's kind of clear, got a little bit of a yellowish cast to it. It's just got a little bit of a sweet flavor to it. All right, so we're gonna do a couple of tablespoons of this, because this is part of what our sweetness is. Okay, so I'm using the small measure all cup, and we've got tablespoons here, we've got ounces, we've got cups. So we're just gonna pour that in. And then we're gonna add, a couple of tablespoons of honey. Now anything sticky, anything kind of solid, it's kind of hard to measure. So with a measure all cup, this is what I love. You just push it down. So we're gonna do a couple of tablespoons of honey. So right here's our tablespoons. And I found a squeeze bottle of honey at Trader Joe's. So this is great. So you just squeeze it in until you've got all that you want. Hard to squeeze, even though it is a little bit less messy. So it's pretty stiff. Okay, so we're gonna get all that pretty honey in there. So this is delicious. And we're actually gonna make the whole dish right here in the same pressure cooker. Okay, so I'm gonna pour that out. So you just push it up and you level it off. Let me grab a carrot scraper. Okay, so that way you get a really accurate measurement. You get all of it out of there. So I'm gonna scrape that off. So you've got every bit of it. Oh, got a little on the side. Get that too. It's like gold. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the sink. Okay, so we've got our honey. Oh, we're gonna do some teriyaki sauce. This is the reduced sodium teriyaki sauce. Store brand is fine. We're gonna do a 1/4 cup. I'm gonna use my Easy Read measuring cup here. And I love these because you read them from above. You just look down into it to see that your measurement, and they're also microwave and dishwasher safe too. So we've got our soy sauce, and then we're gonna press some garlic cloves in there. Okay, here's my little educational segment on, hey Kristen, here's my segment on garlic. Okay, so this is a bulb of garlic. Okay, and these are cloves of garlic. So you break it apart with your fingers. Sometimes they're small. These are really big. See how big that is? And I can kind of feel there actually may be 2 in there. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes they'll kind of grow together and kind of split off. So I could kind of feel that. But what you do, and that was kind of, sometimes it's a little dry. They cure the garlic before they sell it. So sometimes you'll get, you may get one that's kind of a little bit older. So this is how you just break it apart with your fingers. Then we're gonna put it in the garlic press. Just press it through. That presses all that nice pulp through that you do want, and it leaves behind the skin that you don't want. So see, you don't have to touch any of that with your fingers. It actually does come with a little tool to clean it, and I always lose mine. It's small. It kind of looks like a Barbie hairbrush, and mine's here somewhere. So I'm just gonna improvise with a fork here and pull this skin out, and so I can press the other one. I'm kind of a messy cook, so I'll mess it up and then I'll go back and clean it up later. So I'm gonna pop this other clove in here, press that through. Garlic is so good for you. It's a great way to add tons of flavor without fat and calories. Fresh garlic is the best. So if you are using the stuff in the jar, you don't know what you're missing. It's so much cheaper to invest in a garlic press and just buy a bulb of garlic. It's about 50 cents for a bulb, and it lasts a good long time. Just keep it in a cool, dry place, and that's all you have to do. Okay, so we've got our garlic in there. This smells so good, by the way. And then our last thing that we're gonna do is fresh ginger. Okay, now fresh ginger is usually in the produce section. It's usually refrigerated, and it kind of looks like this. It doesn't look like anything you would eat, but we are gonna eat this. Okay, so we're just gonna take a piece of it. I just kind of break it where it looks like it'll break apart. And let's see, let's go here. Okay, so you can kind of see it's kind of woody, kind of pulpy. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're going to peel it. So this is our serrated peeler, and we're just gonna go down through like this and peel that tough outer skin off. Now you could, if it was a small piece, press it through your garlic press. We're gonna use a little bit more than that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how to do it this way. So we're gonna get that peel off the best we can. And like us, it's kind of a odd shape. So I try to come, across maybe a nice flat part if you can get to a good flat spot. Okay, so here we go. That's looking pretty good. So once you start peeling it, it smells amazing. So this is a big ingredient for Asian cooking. So we're gonna use the microplane fine grater. This is awesome if you're doing Parmesan cheese, Romano cheese, some of those harder cheeses. You can use it to grate chocolate. You can use it to zest your citrus fruit. So we're gonna use it to do our garlic. So it can go up like a kickstand, or it can go straight out. It can fold all the way back down so you can store it. And then it's got a blade guard. And then it also has a food holder that you would put your food in, slide up and down. Since this is kind of such an odd shape, I'm just gonna freehand, and I'm just gonna go right over the top. Kind of like when they come around at the Italian places and grate the cheese over your plate. So we're just gonna grate. It smells really, really good. So you can kind of see, let me get a little closer. Okay, do you see how all the pulp is kind of coming through the bottom? So that's what we want. It's kind of fibrous. I don't know if you can kind of see how it's a little bit, you can see those fibers kind of sticking up. But this is all you do, and it's very inexpensive. That whole big chunk of ginger was like $2 or $3, and it keeps a long time too. I just keep it in the fridge. So it smells awesome. So I'm just gonna take and just scrape all this off. See, there we go. We wanted about a teaspoon or so. It's got a lot of flavor too. So once we have all this in here, we're just gonna kind of whisk it up. Let's see. Just whisk it with my stainless whisk. And that's our homemade teriyaki sauce. Now you can kind of cheat and use a pre-bottled teriyaki sauce. Pampered Chef actually has a really good teriyaki sauce. It's a little thicker than this, but it would work. But I'm telling you, the homemade is so easy and so good on this. You're gonna want a lot of sauce. It's delicious. Okay, so once all that is done, you see we've got that all ready to go. So what we're gonna do is add in the chicken. So the great thing about the quick cooker is that I can also do more than one thing at a time. So what I've done, I have put my chicken thighs in the bottom, and it comes with a rack. So it's a wire rack that I have put the little feet are touching the bottom. So the chicken is down there with our yummy sauce. It is delicious. It smells so good. So now I'm going to prepare the rice. So we have the ceramic bowl with the little cradle. These are available separately, or you can get everything together as a set. I really highly recommend the set because it's great. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a cup and a half. You can do a cup. My family eats a lot of rice. So we're going to do a cup and a half of, this is long grain white rice, and I actually did rinse it just to kind of get some of that extra starch off of there. That's going to keep it from kind of being kind of foamy. So our rinsed rice goes in here. A cup and a half of cold water. So if you want less, you can do a cup of each. Okay, so now the silicone lid is vented on both sides. So this is really important because when a pressure cooker operates, this one actually has a sensor. So if something touches it, it'll cause that sensor to stay up, and then you won't be able to unlock it. So that's bad because your food would be trapped in there. So we're gonna put this is made to go in the pressure cooker. So I'm just gonna put it over the ceramic bowl. And the bowl goes in, well, let me lift it out of the cradle. That's a little bit easier. So I'm going to put it over the bowl, and then I'm going to put the bowl in the cradle. Okay, so the bowl goes in the cradle, just like this. You just want to make sure everything's down. I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to set it in. Okay, so chicken on the bottom, rice is on the top. It's awesome. Just got my silicone ring out of the dishwasher. I always like to run this through the dishwasher because silicone can harbor the scent of whatever you did last. So running it through the dishwasher I find really helps deodorize that. So it's silicone. It's going to stay stretchy. It's going to stay pliable. Silicone doesn't turn hard and brittle like rubber does. So that's why silicone is great for this. So the silicone ring, this is the lid. Okay, so the silicone ring sits right here. So you push it in with your fingers all the way in. So you push it until it can't go any further. And you'll kind of see it's seated all the way down as far as it'll go. Okay? Now, to put the lid on the quick cooker, go ahead and plug it in. Oh, it's plugged in. Okay, so to put the lid on the quick cooker, I'm going to go like this. Oh, it makes music. I love it. Ah, isn't that great? Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to check. It is closed. It is not yet locked. Okay. So a couple of things. When you check on the handle, you want to make sure this is the steam release. Okay, so if you've ever used any other kind of pressure cooker, a lot of this steam release are kind of close to where your fingers are. So Pampered Chef thought long and hard. This product was in development for years. They released a limited number to certain consultants, and they tested it for months. So it's been used by people like me and you. Some of them are really, really great chefs. Some of them are just casual cooks like I am. But everybody has been raving, you know, just they loved it. So Pampered Chef really did a lot of hard work in developing this product. They wanted everybody to feel safe because that's what you think of with Pampered Chef. We want really safe tools. We want things that you could feel comfortable using around your family. So some of the things they did, they put the release button is way up here, and the steam release is back here. So when you press the steam, it's going to go this way. kind of up and out. So it goes away from you. The handles are way down here, so you can pick it up and move it around and not, you know, not feel uncomfortable. I have seen a lot of pressure cookers that the lid is the handle. So this way you have a lot more leverage. It's easier to move it around if you need to. And also, it's got a pressure indicator right here. It's a red button. I don't know if you can see it. And when it is under pressure, that's going to pop up. As long as this is under pressure and this indicator is up, it will not unlock. Okay, on the front, the sides, the front, the lid, this is the only little place that kind of gets hot. If you'll keep your fingers away from that, which of course you want to, anywhere the steam can come out, just keep your fingers away from that. But the sides, the front, everything stays cool to the touch. So when you come around to the front, if you can kind of see, here's all the controls. We have 16 different settings, including you can sear, steam, slow cook, you can proof, chicken and poultry, beef and pork, fish and seafood, soup and stock, beans, stew and chili and dessert, and then white rice, brown rice, and whole grains. So the guide that comes with it has a really comprehensive guide. It has a really user-friendly ways to get started. How to do beans without soaking them all night, hard-boiled eggs that are easy to peel, simple salsa chicken, and then it also tells you how to do it. All different kinds of beans and legumes, grains and rice, all different kinds of vegetables, your meat and poultry, and then of course all these great recipes. So we've got 2 desserts and a bunch of main dishes. There's homemade bread. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. So we have a delay setting, so you can set it. For instance, if you wanted to do oatmeal for breakfast, you can set it and it can come on later. You can customize. So what we're gonna do here for this recipe, we're actually gonna use a custom setting, a little bit of a custom setting. So we're going to use the chicken poultry setting. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the handle so it comes over here to chicken and poultry. Okay, and it automatically goes to 15 minutes. We're going to adjust it down to 10. Okay, and then I'm going to hit start. Now, as you see, it's going to go around and around. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to see if you all can see. My crew's coming in from the ball game, so if you hear any sounds, that's what it is. Okay, so you can kind of see this going around and around. It's got a little lock indicator because the lid is locked in place. And as long as it's building pressure, this is going to go around and around. That's why it's really important to double check here. This needs to be down flat, and the little steam symbol needs to be toward me. And then this button should be down flush. If it was kind of sticking up like that, that would allow the steam to escape, and then it won't come to pressure. So you want to make sure that's down and flat. This is going to go around and around until it is ready to come to pressure, and then it'll start counting down from the cook time that I set. When it's done with the cook time, it automatically goes to the warm setting. So some recipes will call for a manual release where you'll push the button and release the steam. Some will call for a natural release where you just let it sit and let the steam come out naturally. So in and out. Sorry, I'm my own videographer today. So we're gonna let that come to pressure, and I'm gonna check back in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so we've got the finished product finally. So we've let this have a natural release for about 8 to 10 minutes. So as soon as it was done, it went straight to the warm setting. So I'm going to go ahead and press the pressure release. See, that's going to push the steam out and away from me. It's warm, but it's not hot to the touch. And you'll see the little steam indicator is up right here. So when the pressure is all released, then that's going to pop back down. Kind of still hear it coming out. And sometimes I have to kind of flick it. And then I'm going to hit stop. And then I'm just going to turn it here. Got music again. It's going to open up. Okay. So my teriyaki sauce bubbled up just a little bit. So this part is always hot, so we're gonna be really careful. But I want you to see how pretty my vegetables look. So here's my steamed vegetables. Took 5 minutes. See how nice and bright that broccoli is? Delicious. And then we're going to use oven mitts, or you can use the little, these are good for this too, the little microwave grips to get hold of the wire rack. So I'm just going to tilt some of that off. Okay, then we'll lift this out. So, okay, there we go. I kind of made a mess, but that's okay. So, see how pretty and fluffy our rice is? Actually, some of the sauce kind of bubbled up and got in the rice, but that's okay. We like it that way. So, nice and fluffy. And then here's our chicken. So, let's see. So here's all our pretty chicken thighs. All that nice, we like the sauce, so I kind of did a little extra sauce. So we'll put out some rice. And then some chicken. And there won't be any of this left. A little extra sauce. And some broccoli. And best part, toasted sesame seeds. You don't want to skip this part. So good. And there we have it. Chicken teriyaki that is better than takeout. It is delicious. I promise you will love this.